What's going on, guys? It is your boy, the Pat Goat Gaming, back at it again with another YouTube video. And today we have a Blackbeard deck profile and gameplay. So this Blackbeard list is probably different than anything you've ever seen. I haven't seen anyone post anything like it. But the idea is to maximize our card quality while minimizing our opponent's card quality with our leader ability. So we are playing the best black cards we possibly can without on-play effects. This includes cards like Kaido, Garp, Smoker, Borsalino, the 10-drop Teach, and the Luffy. So by doing this, we are creating a card quality gap between us and our opponents, and I think this is the best list, a form of the best list that you can make with Teach. I think this is the correct way to play it. I do not think the Teach engine is good enough. I do not think the cards are good enough. I think the only good cards are the 10-drop Teach, the Stage, and the Burgess. I think those are your three good cards, and the rest are filler. I don't think any other decks would ever play the rest of the cards in that deck. So this is what I think is the best. Some variation of this. Please let me know what you think. Let me know if this is trash, if you would never play this. Let me know if you try it and what you think of it and what things you would change. Also, guys, we're on the quest to 100 subscribers. We're currently at 90. So anything, if you want to leave a subscribe, if you want to leave a like, I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy the video. Let me know what you think of the list, and let's get right into the gameplay. Also, this deck smacks Usopp. It smacks the Mirror. So if you want to beat Usopp, you want to beat the Mirror, which will be two prominent decks in the next format, give this deck a try. Let me know what you think. All right, let's go. Getting right into the first game here, we're going up against Usopp. This is the deck I kind of want to show off my Blackbeard list against. So he opens up pretty well. He has the Coliseum, he has a Searcher turn 1. Let's see what we decide to do here. So on our 3 Dawn turn, there's really not much this deck does. Especially against Usopp, you want to get that first attack in to get his hand size above 5, so he's not able to use his ability as consistently. So he plays his blocker. On our 5 Dawn turn, we love playing the Smoker, because Usopp really cannot deal with it, especially if we use the Black Hole ability. He cannot get rid of Smoker, except with, unless he KOs it just by combat. So we play the Smoker here, attack for 5, pass the turn. He has his blocker out. We haven't started Black Holing yet because we want to do that on his 7 and 8 Dawn turns, so he can't play his Rebecca. Any other turn before that is completely fine. Let him play what he wants, do what he wants. You don't want to waste your cards. So here we're on our 7 Dawn turn. We have our Smoker on board. We have our leader, and he has his 2 blockers, which is fine. He has 5 cards in hand. So we go ahead and play our Luffy, and we're going to go ahead and pass here. Because we don't want him to get those blocker abilities, and we don't want him to get cards off his leader ability. So we just pass, don't attack. We're doing completely fine on life. We're just going to let him keep those cards in his hand. He's not able to play his Rebecca's, and he just hard plays his Kyros. So we have a really nice board. He does too, obviously. But I think we're going to be okay here. On our 9 Dawn turn, we have the Kaido option. We could play the Jack, we could play the Borsi, and we're just going to play the Kaido. Kaido is perfect against this matchup, because what they end up doing is usually playing these blockers. Then you're just able to remove them, make them trash a card, and then you have a nice big body on board. The Luffy also makes him trash a card for free, kind of negating the leader ability, and then we swing for 7 with the Smoker. And let's see if he takes it. He actually counters out, so good for us. And then we swing for 5, and he blocks it and gets his blocker back. So completely fine turn for us. We got rid of his blocker. Our board is looking much better than his. We have 2 7Ks and the 9K. And we're equal on cards. We're actually equal on cards against Usopp with Blackbeard. So doing really well. And we have one more life than him, so doing awesome. So he's going to go ahead and start clearing our board here. I think we decide to save the Luffy, just because we want to push him as hard as we can at this point, to get him down as quick as possible. He has no cards in hand. He only has 1 blocker available. And the longer this game goes on, the more he will start to win. He is able to drop the 7-drop Luffy, which is honestly tragic, and also has the perfect amount in trash to restand him and attack again. So he clears our board, but we still have Kaido. And we also have the Smoker in hand, the Shockwave, and the Borsi. So hand's looking pretty good. He's at 2 life, 1 blocker. And I think we just decide to push here and try to go for game. Because like I said, the longer this game goes on, the more he starts building advantage. And Usopp can really set up that wall of blockers, and that's when you lose. So here we go for another 8k attacks. He blocks, draws. Then we play out the smoker. Once again, activate the black hole so he's not able to Rebecca or Kyros. And we're looking good. We only have 2 in hand, but we have 2 life. A nice board. And if he's not able to establish a blocker, we should be able to win. Because a lot of time Usopp doesn't play, or he has a lot of dead cards in hand with no counter. So we should be fine here, as long as he doesn't have a lot of blockers. So we counter out of this, we stay at 1 life, and then he plays the Kyros. So obviously he doesn't have a lot left. We're able to save our Kaido with the rush on Colosseum, and we also have the Shockwave in case he wanted to put more Dawn on the Kyros and swing over the Kaido. But we use Shockwave here, we're saving our Kaido, and then it looks like he's going to play a blocker. And here we just go for game. It's our only option, and we have pretty good odds of hitting it. I think we can go 10, 10, 11 is what we're going to do here. So we swing 10, let's see if he blocks it. He does. And then we go 10 again, and then 11 for our last attack. And that's the best we can do. Let's see, and he forfeits. So really good game there, going off the deck against Usopp. So next we have a mirror against Blackbeard. The most Blackbeards that I play against on the sim all play the most generic shit. They play the Burgess, they play the basic list, and I just don't know if it's good enough to beat the best decks, but we're going to see what happens in the mirror. So he gets the Burgess on board really early. Very nice for him. And Burgess is obviously the best card in the deck, in my opinion. I think there's 3 good cards in the deck. You have Burgess, the Stage, and the 10-drop. But our version of Burgess is basically the Smoker. Because you never really counter with Burgess, and Smoker just comes down, you can't KO him, and he's a 5 cost, so he gets over like Black Hole that Teach plays, and Burgess does not, which does come up in this matchup. So he swings for 5, he establishes 2 Burgesses really early, but we were able to match it. Looks like we're going to play another Smoker here. So it's kind of, this is showing exactly like how the mirror would happen, but instead of Burgesses, we have Smokers. So let's see how it plays out. So we swing for 7 here, get him down to 3 life. I'm assuming he's not going to want to take go down to 2. And he's not going to want to stay at 4. So I'm guessing he takes one of these 7s and counters out of the next, which is exactly what he does. We play the other Smoker and we pass. So here we currently have the power advantage. The Burgesses aren't quite powered up to what they could be. So we have our Smokers, they can't be KO'd, and we're doing the same thing he is, but just in a different way. Let's see which one ends up being better. He swings for 6. I think we took it. Now he has 3 Burgesses on board, which insane that he's seen all 3 so early. And he's able to play them with the Kuzan. So yeah, really good start for him. Like, I think this is truly a testament to my build of the deck, that we were able to beat this. As you're gonna see, we're able to defeat his 3 Burgess start. We play the Kaido. I think the Kaido is insane, especially against the mirror, especially against Usopp. It's just able to grind out a little bit harder. It's able to clear the Burgesses, and it's really nice. So here he has the 2 Burgesses on board. We have our 2 Smokers and the Kaido, and it's looking good. He's able to start searching though, and that's the one advantage that I'd say the standard Blackbeard build has, is just the consistency. Is being able to find your cards that you want to see very often with the Stage and the Searcher. But we're just playing good black cards, and sometimes that it just doesn't matter how many cards they see, of how many they want to see. Our cards are better. Like that Liberation was dead because of our Smokers. You just see he discarded it. But yeah, we have our Smokers on board, we have our Kaido, and we have a lot of cards in hand. He's at 1 life. And here I think we're just going to push. We're going to push as hard as we can. He only has 1 blocker on board, 6 cards in hand, and we have 3 good attacks left. So let's see. Oh no, our Kaido can't attack, so let's see what he does here. I think I For some reason, he forfeits. I think he couldn't counter out. He had to block, and then we swung for 10 with the leader. A really good game there, showing off the mirror matchup. The next game we have against Usopp, once again. And these are the matchups I wanted. I wanted to show off this deck against Usopp and the mirror. So here we have our second Usopp match, and let's see how it goes. So once again, it's just... like, it was either I swang 8 there, or I played the blocker and did an attack, because I don't want him to be able to easily counter out and start getting those draws off leader ability. So on our 5 Dawn turn, we really don't have the best play. Ideally, we want to see the smoker here, but we do not have it. We're running 4 in the deck, so a little bit unlucky, but it's fine. We could play the Garp if we wanted to. We could establish the Borsey, or we could just start swinging big. So let's see what we decide to do. We swing for 6. He takes it. I think that's a sign that he has no 2Ks in hand. I think he definitely would have countered if he did. But here we establish the Borsey. We end up taking that, and he swings for 7. We just block with the Fukuro just in case he wants to remove that in the future. Then he establishes his other 4-drop blocker. So 7 Dawn turn, we have our Borsalino. I think we're going to decide to play the Luffy. And Jack is relatively dead in this matchup. Really not good because of Usopp's ability to give all his characters +1. So we just discard it to Black Hole. And once again, start Black Holing on the 7 and 8 Dawn turns for the rest of the game. You have to, or else he's going to establish Rebecca, the Kiros, the Sabos, and that's when you lose. So as long as you lock down Usopp, you should be fine in this matchup once you start establishing your board. But he is playing relatively well. He's staying aggressive. He's attacking with his Zoros. He's establishing a Kiroses. The Kiros is really annoying because Kaido can't hit it because of Usopp's ability. But we're just going to play through it. So he swings 7 for Luffy. We're able to use his ability. And I think the Luffy is really nice. It has the counter. It makes people discard. And at 6 costs 7k, so it's relatively decent statted. I think the Luffy is a really good addition to this deck. I might run more if I was making a different revision and take out maybe a Jack. So here we're staying aggressive. We swing 7, we swing 8. And he does have the blocker, so he could use it if he wants to. Let's see what he decides to do. Ends up taking it and goes to 1. I'm not sure. I think he should block there. I'm not 100% sure, but we just play the Borsalino, activate Black Hole, and pass over. And here we're at 2 life. He keeps attacking for 6, which is really annoying. I think that's a really good way to play against Blackbeard, just poking, and eventually they will run out of cards. So we try to play it safe here. We end up going to 0 because we know they can't remove the Borsies. We have the Blackbeard ability in play, and we might be able to stabilize if they stay on board. So here we attack with Luffy, and we actually make a pretty big mistake. We don't have 3 cards in the grave, and we're not able to use his ability. But it still is a 7k attack, and we'll see if we're able to recover from it. He counters out, which is pretty smart. He'll be able to use Usopp ability now by blocking. Counters out again. Not sure why. And we have 10 Dawn available. We could play the Kaidos, or we could just play a Borsalino and leave up some defenses. So I think I played this turn relatively poorly. We could have attacked with bigger numbers and made him block. Yeah, I think I wanted to play the Kaido, but he played it in a weird way, and I didn't know what to do with my Dawn after that. So we play the Borsalino. I mean, we could say we're bluffing 6 Dawn, but he probably knows that we just misplayed. But we still have the Shockwave open, and we're actually able to make really good use of the Shockwave and KO his 2-drop blocker. He does Red Rock one of our Borsies, and I think he decides to go for game here. And that was his worst decision, because he was not expecting the Shockwave. I think if we didn't have the Shockwave, he wins this game. But we're barely able to survive, and we have 2 attacks left. He has no blockers. And if he did have that 2-drop blocker, I think we lose. But the Shockwave comes in super clutch. We use Luffy ability to no avail, and then we swing for 10, and that is game, boys. All right, post game. So you made it to the end of the video. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed. I really appreciate you sticking around the whole time. It really helps the channel. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of the list. Personally, I really enjoy it, and I think there's a lot of room to to bring this deck to new heights. I think there's a lot of optimization that can be done, that can be worked on throughout OP10, because I think this deck does really well against Usopp. I think you saw it today, and if you try this deck out yourself, you'll see it for yourself. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. Love you. Have a good day. See ya.